Good afternoon / evening, ladies and gents. Never know if 6 o'clock is the cut-off for evening. Anyway, I hope you've had a great week, and I'm talking about how to really help you create accountability for yourself, especially with your training and your fitness. Because a lot of the time, people don't get results, and they find that frustrating. They find that frustrating because they feel like all that time and investment into the gym is wasted. But why is it wasted? Well, you know, a lot of people come to the gym for the mental health benefits, and I completely get that. That's 100%. But you also like a return on your investment in your time, especially when you're wanting results. And one of the big problems is people don't create accountability for themselves. And what do I mean by that? It's basically not taking responsibility for your actions in the gym. And how do we measure this? How do we become more accountable? Well, one really strong way of becoming accountable is always when you focus on starting a bit of a program or starting on, say you come to the gym for the first time, is to take a photo of yourself. Photo yourself in the underwear or bikini or sportswear, whatever. Taking a photo of yourself. And why is that? Because when you look at yourself and you don't necessarily like how you look, you want to change that, it creates that message to yourself thinking, this is why I started. So when you start to lose that motivation and you see yourself in a shape you're not a fan of and how you want to change it, you know to yourself that you set out that intention to change that. And when you're seeing yourself, you think to yourself, I don't want to go back to that. So it creates that constant reminder of, you know, I wanted to look different to this. I wanted to go away from looking like this and looking and feeling more confident in my own body. So pictures are always such a good way of creating accountability, and also they really help that motivation, because say you take pictures once every 4 weeks, if you do that consistently over time, once you see your progress from month 1 to month 3 to month 5, you know, seeing that progress throughout really keeps you on track. So when you feel like stopping, when you feel like your motivation levels are going down, those progress pictures makes you realise actually all the effort and all the hard work I'm putting in is paying off. It's just being consistent with it. So pictures are such a good way of creating that accountability. And another way of creating really strong accountability for yourself when it comes to your fitness is putting some skin in the game. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, people act more strongly when they're trying to avoid losing something rather than trying to gain something. And what do I mean by this? Well, people, if you said to yourself, you have $100,000 and that was going to be taken away from you and you would lose that forever, or you had $100,000 and you told, you know, you'd be gaining another $100,000, people would rather not lose that $100,000 and go to zero, rather than having that $100,000 go up to 200, because you'd rather stay in that $100,000 wealthy zone and not go to that zero zone, rather than, you know, going from that first level of rich to that next level of rich. Because going from 100,000 to zero is a lot more significant than already being relatively wealthy, just being a little bit more wealthy. So that whole purpose of, you know, avoiding pain, and how do you avoid that? Avoid that pain of losing something. And how do we put skin in the game? You know, putting money in the game. You know, whether you pay for a program, whether you pay for a coach, that accountability, where you pay for a gym membership, that's putting your skin in the game. Because if you're not turning up, if you're not investing that time, if you're not being responsible and being accountable for yourself, all that money you're putting in is not going anywhere. So you're creating that accountability for yourself, being like, I have to make this work. I have to be committed and make my money count. And that is a seriously strong way of creating that accountability for yourself. Because if we just try and do everything on the free, you know, there's nothing to lose. And when there's nothing to lose, we can get seriously stuck in our progress. So team, I know that was a short one, I've got to go, but I really hope that makes sense. And 2 really effective ways of creating accountability for yourself: taking those pictures and putting some skin in the game. Keep you accountable like no tomorrow. Anyway, ladies and gents, have a good one, and I will catch you soon.